Please pick from the following 4 cards. For those of you who are curious as to what the names of the crystals are, from left to right. This is green Apophyllite. This is blue Sodalite. This is Aquamarine. And this is moss Agate. This is for what to focus on in April of 2021. And let's start with the people who picked the green Apophyllite. Let's get on to your reading. So firstly, you have the base chakra, the King of Cups, Sun, firstly, I can see from this card that you need to focus on yourself. Rather than trying to provide for other people, you want to focus on your health, your body, and needing to feel secure. So rather than trying to help others, you want to focus on you. I also feel like you need to face your fears and realize that you're not living in your past and you want to start living in the present moment, because this chakra represents you in the present moment, feeling safe in your current situation. I also can see from the King of Cups that you're going to have some good news in terms of somebody coming into your life or something happening in your life that's going to assist you in your feeling safe and your emotions. So take that help, because that could help you a lot. And this card is really interesting. It says, your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. And I feel like this is probably not literal, but rather, I don't know why, but this picture, when I look at this picture, I feel like you have angels and you have guides watching over you, and you don't need to feel fear, because this chakra is also about fear when it's reversed or when it's not in balance. So when you feel unsafe and when you feel like any form of fear, try to ask for help from your guides and angels, because this card is bringing up ideas of help and guidance from angels. So rather than trapping yourself, and again this is about getting help, rather than trying to do it all yourself and trapping yourself in your fear, try to ask for help, because you will only get help from divine beings when you ask for it. And this again doesn't only apply in terms of help from the divine or help from higher consciousnesses. It's also to do with in this realm, because we can only get what we ask for. We need to align with the things we want, right? So you want to ask for the help. If you want help, you have to ask for it. And when you ask for it, you will get help immediately. And so this month, focus on your health, your well-being, and taking the courage to ask for help. If you picked number 2 or the Sodalite crystal, here's your stone. And let's get on with your reading. So the first card is responsibility. The second card is children. The third card is Queen of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so I'm getting immediately that you need to focus on your future. Rather than in the first one, it was more about the present moment and getting help from others. This is about taking responsibility and children. So you want to take responsibility for your future rather than focusing too much on you, because you're quite stable in terms of your own things going on in April. But rather you want to focus on trying to build a better future and a better world for other people, and we all have gifts to be able to do that, and you want to enhance those gifts and you want to use those gifts to help other people. And you know, children are our future, and we want to create a world for them so that they can thrive in the world. So what else can I say? Okay, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is an interesting card because she has gone through very difficult times in her life, but through those difficult times she's grown to understand, and she's grown to see things from a logical point of view. Whereas the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, they're about following their heart and following their passion. This is about logic, and it's not that she's cold, but she doesn't let her emotions get in the way of her actions. So she knows to differentiate her emotions from what she feels is the right thing to do. So sometimes we can get clouded by our emotions as to what we need to do, because our emotions are different to our intuition, because we might feel something is wrong, but that actually might be coming from a fear perspective and, you know, from our ego. Whereas when you follow your intuition, you just know something's the right thing to do without any kind of attachment to it. So rather than attaching yourself to a consequence or to a result or to an outcome, try to listen to what is right by really calming your mind and by quieting your mind and listening to your intuition. And you do that by relaxing and really focusing on your inner voice rather than the outer voice. Could be like fear. You don't want to listen to any of that. So by listening to your intuition, you can listen to what needs to be done in terms of trying to create a better life and a better future. So if you picked number 3, this is your stone, your moss agate. Let's get on with your reading. Firstly, you have heal, strength, emotional healing. You have quite a lot of healing cards. I guess 2 out of the 3 are healing cards, so that's an important topic for you. Okay, so I'm getting from these 3 cards that you want to really focus on healing, and this isn't so much physical healing because we don't have any pentacle cards here. You only have this one, and strength is actually ruled by the sign of Leo, which is ruled by the sun, which represents our soul. It's about healing our soul from our emotional wounds. You know, we have the emotional healing card here, so we want to focus not so much, again, this is kind of similar to those of you who picked number 1, that we want to focus on ourselves, not so much the outside world, but ourselves and our journey to our healing. This is kind of inner child work, I guess. You don't want to look outside of you to get help in this case. We want to focus on ourselves and our own inner traumas, I guess. Learning to forgive our past selves of the traumas that we went through, and how you actually gained strength and inner strength from those circumstances, rather than fixating on whose fault it was or wishing that it didn't happen, because it already did, and you can't change the past, but you can change your present and your future by healing from the past and by focusing on what you gained from it and how it is that you actually became strong by experiencing those difficult experiences. And by doing that, you can actually forgive yourself for those experiences, because when you're holding on to emotional pain or emotional trauma, you hold on to it because you can't forgive yourself for the circumstances that you put yourself in, or you were put into. And when you heal from that, then you can actually forgive yourself and release yourself from that kind of chain, I guess, that you had to that experience. If you picked number 4, this is your crystal. This is Aquamarine. And here's your reading. Firstly, we have family. 7 of Cups. And you also have daughter. How interesting, we've had the son and the daughter. Okay, I'm getting this really interesting because family and daughter, you know, daughter is a family member, I guess. So this is really interesting to me that we're getting this. So the information I'm getting from this is to appreciate your ancestors, because our family line is really important in the evolution of our souls. We carry ancestral genes and ancestral DNA that really shapes us into the people we need to be and the experiences we will have, because, you know, there's no way that we can detach ourselves from our ancestors, because it's part of our DNA and it's part of our bloodlines. And so appreciating our ancestors, the great work that they've gone through to get us to the positions that we are today, and by honoring that, we can actually know what to do in our lifetimes so that we can accomplish our goals for the greater good, which is, you know, not just for the ancestors but for the collective, because, you know, if you think about it, we're all connected in some way or another. So by helping the ancestors and our family line, we can actually help people in a greater global scale. So this month we need to focus on our family line, our bloodlines, our ancestors, and also our future children, because, you know, we're creating that world for them too, because they're going to be affected by the things we do. So by being conscious of that, by being conscious of our choices, this is, you know, this card is about choices, and rather than looking elsewhere, because, you know, this man in this card, he has all these different things, and yet he's looking at this one, you know, the one that's covered. But ultimately we have choices in life that are in line with our own growth, and rather than looking outside of us, look at the things that are inside of us and what's been going on within our ancestry and our bloodlines, because that's what we can control, and that's what we can only control ourselves. And, you know, we want to look within us rather than outside of us, because our ancestors also live within us, because their DNA is what's been passed on from generation to generation. By focusing on our ancestors and being grateful for the things that they've been through and what they've gone through, then we can start to know the direction that we need to go in, so that we can grow and evolve and, you know, make a bigger impact and a positive impact on the world. And finally, this is a collective message for you all. This says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. This is the collective message, and please take what you resonate with in terms of this card. I hope you found this reading useful, and I'll hopefully see you in another video. Take care. Bye.